Okay, hi everyone. So this is part 3 of solving quadratic equations 5.1. Okay, and in this video we're going to look at practice now 4, and in practice now 4 we're going to solve more complicated versions of quadratic equations. Alright, so most likely we're going to encounter something like this above, and we need to know how to solve it. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Okay, now let's continue on. So x times x plus 6 equals to negative 5. Now, you take note, yeah, this is already in the factorized form, right? So can we use x equals to negative 5 or x plus 6 is equals to negative 5? Can we do this? The short answer is no, correct? No, why cannot? Because it has to be 0 on the other side for us to use this. We cannot use it for any other number. It has to be 0. Right? Let me repeat. So the number on the right has to be 0 for us to use the zero product property. Okay, so in order to do this, we will need to make some rearrangements. We will need to expand this equals to negative 5, rearrange, right, until you get your equation in this form. So ax squared plus bx plus c. A, b, and c are your constants or your coefficients or constant are numbers, right? So you make sure that you arrange in this form, and then you solve the equation from here. Okay, so make sure you arrange in this form, and then you solve the equation from here. Okay, so once again, how do we solve? We can solve it by factorizing, like the factorized box over here. So over here, we have an x plus 1, x plus 5 equals to 0. Okay, x plus 1, x plus 5. So x plus 1 is equals to 0, or x plus 5 is equals to 0. So x equals to negative 1 or x equals to negative 5. So we have two answers over here for question A. Okay, so same for B. It has to be 0 on the right hand side of the equation, and most likely we need to expand and rearrange everything again. So 9y, we need to expand this, so it will be 9y minus 9y squared equals to 2. So okay, rearrange. Okay, maybe let's move everything to the right hand side. Okay, so 0 is equals to 9y squared minus 9y plus 2. Right, so we will try to solve this. Okay, so when we factorize, we'll get the factorize in the using the box method above. So our factors are, so 3y minus 2 and then 3y minus 1. So observe, so one side of the equation is 0, and then it will be this equals to 0 or that equals to 0. So over here, 3y minus 2 is equals to 0. So 3y equals to 2, and y is equals to 2/3. So first answer, or the second answer will be 3y minus 1 equals to 0. 3y is equals to 1. Y is equals to 1/3. So this is our second answer, second solution. So we solve it like this. Okay, alright, for C, same thing over here. We need to clear one side of the equation to make it 0. Right, and for C, most likely we'll need to expand. So when we expand, it will be like a double rainbow, right? Double rainbow. So we distribute the 3t first. So 3t squared minus 6t, and we distribute the 5, right? Distribute the 5 to be negative 6. So let's combine everything together. So minus t and a minus 4 over here. Okay, so we have something like this over here. Now, the next step, once we get 0 on one side and the quadratic on the other side, we can factorize. So let's do the factorization now. Okay, so when we factorize, we get something like this in this box over here. So the factors are 3t minus 4 and t plus 1. So we have a 3t minus 4 and a t plus 1 equals to 0. So it will be either this equals to 0 or that equals to 0. So 3t minus 4 equals to 0. 3t equals to 4, 3t equals to 4 over 3, or t plus 1 is equals to 0, t equals to negative 1. So this will be our second solution. So two solutions that we can find over here. Okay, so for question D, we have a 2v plus 1 whole thing squared equals to 1 over 5v plus 2. So let's do this slowly. So most of the chances is that we need to expand everything and we move everything to the left and make the right hand side 0. So this is our goal first, right? So over here 2v plus 1 squared. Now you can expand this slowly as 2v plus 1 and 2v. You can do this because squared, right? You can do this. So you can do this and you can expand it to be 4v and then plus 4v squared plus 4v plus 1, right? You can do this. Now, however, because we have learned the identity from the previous chapter, so for me it's faster to use the identity, right? So over here I'm going to make use of the identity where a plus b squared is going to give me a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So a squared is 2v squared, so 4v squared. 2ab is going to be 2 times 2v plus 1, so 4v. And then b squared is just 1 squared, so it's just 1, right? The other side, I don't expand first. I leave it like this first, right? Because I have this 1 over 5 over here, which is extremely awkward. So what I can do is I can multiply by 5 on the left, multiply by 5 on the right. Okay, so multiply by 5 on the left, I get 20v squared plus 20v plus 5 to get rid of the 1 over 5. And then this will be just v plus 2 because I multiplied by 5. 1/5 times 5 will be 1. So let me rearrange this. So 20v squared plus 19v, right? Then plus 3 equals to 0. Now, so this is a bit difficult to factorize. So how do we factorize this more efficiently? You can check out my video on how to factorize using the how to factorize and solve using the calculator, right, in the next video. Okay, but to cut things short, let me just write down the solutions for you. Okay, let me quickly write down the solutions for you so that you can see. So after we factorize, we get a 5v plus 1 and then a 4v plus 3 as our factorized answer. So now finally we have everything on the left and a 0 on the right, right? And we can factorize something on the left and it's equal to 0, right? So this would be a equals to 0 or b equals to 0 if you see over here, right? So it will be 5v plus 1 equals to 0 or 4v plus 3 is going to be equal to 0, right? So 5v is equals to -1, then you divide by 5, will be -1 over 5, right? So first answer. Second answer, 4v is equals to -3, so v will be equals to -3 over 4 as our final answer over there. Alright, so this, we have come to the end of the video where we solve challenging type of like slightly challenging type of quadratic equations, right? So even though this exists for us to solve, don't worry too much because sooner or later you get used to the skills of solving, right? The most important thing is to practice every day, to sharpen your sword, to sharpen your skills, right? So once again, don't forget, our goal of the day is to make it to be in this form first, where it is in ax squared plus bx plus c, a generic quadratic equation, equals to 0 on the right hand side. And once you make the one side 0, you can proceed to factorize the side with the quadratic equation to be 0, and you can solve from there. So it will be first factor equals 0, second factor equals 0 using the zero product property. Okay, so this is the end of the video and see you in the next one.